Hi folks, Paul Gruen here. How well are you dealing with change in your life? Nobody likes change, but I'm sure you've heard this, the only constant in life is change. If you're not handling it as well as you'd like, perhaps you'd like to hear about a great little book called Who Moved My Cheese? Subtitle is An Amazing Way to Deal with Change in Your Work and in Your Life. Again, Who Moved My Cheese? It's a classic. It's either a #1 bestseller. It's by Dr. Spencer Johnson. It was first published in 1998, and the book covers dealing with change. We've obviously gone through tremendous change over the last couple of years, so this is all relevant. And I bought my copy, I've actually got two, back in 2002. I can see that I've actually still have the receipt. I kept it in the book as a bookmarker. I got it at a Borders Books in Evanston, Illinois, which means I must have been visiting my mother on a business trip at the time. Now that was 2002, and that was a time when I was going through a lot of major changes in my life. An ugly divorce, losing my job, and then trying to take my engineering consulting practice as a consulting on the side full time. And I remember reading this book and it being wildly popular at the time. A lot of companies gave it to all their employees. The short little story that the book is based on is reported to have saved careers, saved marriages, and even lives. It's a very short book. You can see that. I mean, you can read this in a couple hours. And there's only 4 characters. Sniff senses change early. Scurry goes into action quickly. Hem denies and resists change. And Haw learns to eventually adapt. The first two, Sniff and Scurry, are mice. The second two, Hem and Haw, are little humans. They have bigger brains than the mice do, and therefore they think more. The cheese, again, the book's title is Who Moved My Cheese, is a metaphor for whatever it is that you want in life. That could be your job, a relationship, money, a big house, recognition, whatever. We all pursue that cheese because we think it will lead to happiness. The story takes place in a maze, and that represents where you're looking for your particular brand of cheese. And that could be where you work, where you live, or the relationships in your life. The book really is a delightful little read, but trying to summarize it represents a potential challenge. I don't have the time to tell the whole story, and that would violate copyright law anyway. Yet if I summarize the key points, that might stop you from reading it. There is, however, one brief section I would like to read. I think you'll see why. And keep in mind, this was written over 20 years ago. Now, the premise for this place in the book is the 4 characters are in a maze. They look for cheese every morning, and eventually they find it, and they come back each morning to that location. But the cheese eventually dries up and moves. The mice quickly realize things have changed, and they scurry on elsewhere. The 2 humans don't quite adapt so well. So one says to the other after he realizes the cheese is gone, he says, "Things are changing around here, Hem. Maybe we need to change and do things differently." "Why should we change?" Hem asked. "We're little people. We're special. This sort of thing should not happen to us, or if it does, we should at least get some benefits." "Why should we get benefits?" Haw asked. "Because we're entitled," Hem claimed. "Entitled to what?" Haw wanted to know. "We're entitled to our cheese." "Why?" Haw asked. "Because we didn't cause this problem," Hem said. "Somebody else did this. We should get something out of it." Haw suggested, "Maybe we should stop analyzing the situation so much and just get going and find some new cheese." "Oh, no," Hem argued. "I'm going to get to the bottom of this." Does Does that sound familiar? But if I try and give a summary, here's a super short version. 1, the cheese keeps moving. Deal with it. 2, anticipate change. Get ready for it to move. 3, monitor and smell the cheese to see if it's getting old. 4, adapt to change quickly, because the quicker you let go of the old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy the new cheese. 5 is change and move with the cheese. Getting toward the end here. 6, enjoy the change, savor the new tastes. And finally, 7, be ready to enjoy it all over again, because the cheese keeps moving. So how might this apply in your personal life? Perhaps you think that your current relationship is old cheese, one that maybe even has mold on it. Maybe you just need to let go of the behavior that's at the root cause of the bad relationship. I mean, after all, just repeating the same behavior with somebody new will just land you in the same situation. Let go of the behavior. Move on to a better way of thinking and acting. And I recently listened to an online speaker at a seminar this very last weekend talk about exactly the same thing, and he even mentioned this book. I held it up. I was sort of in the other audience. Or maybe it's your work. Maybe instead of changing your job or your employer, maybe you should change the way you're doing your job or the way you're thinking about it. Personally, I've dealt with a lot of change in my life. No doubt we all have. And I've gone through many different jobs, many different places where I've lived, and 2 marriages. And honestly, as difficult as they may have felt at the time, and overwhelming at the time, everything worked out for the better. It really is a matter of attitude. I've posted a lot of quotes about change, and a very relevant one here was by Sean and Michelle Poe. Now, they're a husband and wife network marketing team who wrote a chapter on a particular book that I've got, and they said, quote, "If you can master the ability to continually adapt to change and embrace it, you'll be light years ahead of the average person." Unquote. So that's all for now. Please comment below or message me if you've got any thoughts or personal stories you'd like to add. I'd love to hear them. Others would as well. And please check out my YouTube channel as well. I've even got a playlist on life. So that's all for now. See you next time.